Hello everyone, nubkeks here and welcome back to Nub Raids. We got two big pieces of news today. The first one is a smaller one because it's not yet showing up for me in the shop, but there is a new personal pack builder coming to the game, which is pretty cool. That you're going to be able to pick and choose what you want from a special list of items, create your own pack to then buy it. So if you are a spender, this could be pretty fun. It looks like there's an interesting mix of stuff in here. The void shard is obviously definitely go in, but I think adding in energy or larger potions and stuff is pretty poor. A void shard and gems, we'll see exactly what it is. But yeah, so pay attention to limited special offers. Not there for me yet. So I don't know. Like I don't spend any money on the game, right? We're on the warrior circle stuff. So maybe it will show up for you sooner if you are a spender, but I'll take a look at it anyway when it comes live. We'll probably do a short little video looking at that. But the other big piece of news is that we're going to have a 10 times event during the 2 times Sacred Shard event this weekend. And the champion that's being boosted is this new guy, Beauregard the Elder. HP based legendary force affinity from the dwarf faction. Looks cool. He reminds me a bit of like Balthazar Geltz with his gold face mask from Warhammer. But the thing that makes this guy really special is his Rune of Energy. 4-turn cooldown when booked, and it's a brand new buff in the game. 50% increased resistance, and also a 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns. I'll show you the rest of his kit, but this alone, honestly, I think for a lot of you, is going to make him worth pulling for, right? His A2... 3-turn cooldown when it's booked, removes 1 random debuff from all allies, then places a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns, equal to 20% of his max HP. And then his A1, Antique Staff attacks 1 enemy, 50% chance goes up to a 65% chance of putting increased defense for 1 turn on the ally with the lowest HP. Won't be placed on this champion. 100% chance instead if this attack is critical. And then his passive is very cool too. Allies receive 10% less damage from champions whose resistance is lower than or equal to theirs. And he gives you 50 resist in all battles, which isn't an amazing aura. We can get better ones than that, but it obviously synergizes with increased resistance. Now, what makes this guy, in my opinion, worth pulling for? 2 real big reasons. There's 2, actually, never mind, 3 big reasons. Number 1, Hydra. Number 2, Doom Tower. Number 3, Arena. Increased resistance can be game-changing in all of those areas. I think this Rune of Energy move is extremely good, right? You go into the Hydra, it gives you access to increased speed, but increased resistance, you can resist, the provokes from the Head of Wrath. You can resist the heal reduction from the Head of Decay. Most importantly, though, you can resist the buff steal and turn meter steal from Head of Mischief. This gives you a really strong way to counter the Head of Mischief without relying on debuffs on that head, right? Because if Head of Decay and Head of Mischief are in there together, he keeps cleansing the head. It's very difficult to control it. This lets you control it on your side, right? With your buffs, you are protected from the Head of Mischief. So I think this is absolutely huge. And then not to mention the fact that it's also effectively going to give you 10% damage reduction against all those Hydra heads as well. So this is, I think, absolutely top tier for Hydra. I think this is a phenomenal move, not to mention the increased speed. And Souls of Old Stone then also works pretty well with this. Okay, removes 1 random debuff from all allies. That sounds terrible. It is, but I guess the point is that if you're running this guy with increased resistance on your team against Hydra, you're going to resist everything except you will get true feared by the fear head, the Head of Torment. He can remove that fear as well, right? So he's going to protect you from loads of the stuff. He's going to be removing the true fears or the fears. The shield is only okay, 20% of his max HP. The better shields are like 30% max HP, but it's still a decent shield, which is nice. Helps against Head of Decay and reducing your health whenever you're healed. Gives you a shield to help survive the big hits from Head of Wrath. And the increased defense thing on the person at lowest HP is a nice little perk. So honestly, I think for Hydra specifically, it's fantastic kit. For Doom Tower bosses as well, Doom Tower Hard especially, we have the exact same thing. Getting increased resistance gives you a chance to actually get through those bosses. I'd be very curious, for example, to see a Bommel strategy around increased resistance. Bommel's got crazy accuracy, and your ability to actually resist what he's doing is very, very, very end game. But if you go in and you put increased resistance on yourself and then decrease accuracy on Bommel, you've got a good resistance aura, and your Great Hall is high on resistance, you got resistance stats, potentially this makes Bommel much more accessible to easily and quickly farm than otherwise would be. So I think he does a lot for you in arena as well. You know, put increased resistance on a team with like Duchess or Sifi or something like that, and it can become quite a nightmare for people to actually kill you and actually debuff you. Unless they have an increased accuracy buff, you could make it literally impossible for them to ever strip your buffs or to debuff you. So I think there's a good bit going for him. Yeah, let me know what you think. I think, by the way, if you're early game, I don't know. I don't think it'd be that good early game. I feel like you really need to be upgrading your resistance quite a lot in the Great Hall for this to really work. And you're generally not able to build resistance on champions early game. So in like your first year or so of playing, I think it might still be worth it, but it might be harder to make him work. But once you're a year into the game at least, and you actually have good resistance stats from your Great Hall, this is where this starts to become good. So yeah, that's Beauregard. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. I will say, if I had 15 Sacred Shards to summon for Wither right now, by the way, I'd absolutely do that. I think Wither is amazing and guaranteed to be super good basically everywhere. But I think this guy's good too. It's good too. It's only a 10 times for him, so like you're not guaranteed at all to get him. But I would pull my Sacreds during the 10 times for him with a 2-time Sacreds and hope to get him. Let me see, is the shop offer shown up yet? No, not yet. Anyway, there you go, guys. Quick little video about Beauregard coming up. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.